One day, I was reading my book when my boss tapped me on the shoulder. "We have to go now," he said. I closed my book, I ran to my car, I turned on the engine, and I stomped on the gas. The car skid, the tires squealing. I jumped out, I ran to the plane, and I buckled myself in. I turned on all the gears. Click, 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 click. The air traffic control gave me the go-ahead. And the engine began roaring. The plane began creeping up, slowly going faster and faster. The engines continued to roar, and the plane eventually began to lift off. I was looking around, and I saw a black saucer. I steered in front of it and set it as my target. I fired at the saucer. Pew, 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 pew. And it exploded. But it was still there somehow. So I tried again. I set the saucer as my target and flew even closer, colliding with it. But it was still there. And I saw more and more saucers appearing. They all flew past me. I tried flying away, but a saucer crashed into me. I was so disoriented. I ejected myself from my seat. And my parachute came out, and I began gliding towards the ground. I watched as my plane crashed into the floor. "What could I do?" I said. Then the saucer flew over me. Its doors opened, and I was levitated into the saucer. A figure with glasses greeted me. We could eventually understand each other, and I saluted him. I opened the doors, and there was another plane. I walked towards it and climbed inside. I flipped all the gears, and was just examining it all. Eventually, I flipped something, and the doors opened. I began flying very fast, and I couldn't control the plane. I could see my old ship in the ground, and it was so cool. I began flying very fast. There was another saucer, and I began shooting at it. It was an intense fight. I shot at it one more time. Pew, 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 pew. And it exploded. I flew away very fast. And another plane flew towards me. I turned so he wouldn't crash, and I watched as it exploded. Cool. I landed the plane, jumped out, and I greeted everybody as I walked past. I greeted the president, and he shook my hand. "Congratulations on being the top pilot. I salute you." Kayla, you got this.
Me and my parents would sit and watch TV. The clock is ticking near midnight. As we're watching, we hear the bell run, bung, bung on the grandfather clock. It strikes midnight, bung, bung. We sit, and all of a sudden, we feel a bunch of shaking, movement. Everything starts to shake. The glass, the TV shaking, the pictures shaking. I got scared. I screamed. We hit boom, boom. We look above the TV and the window cracking open. Everything starts to fall and break, and I got scared. I'm looking at the TV. Boom, boom, boom. Everything starts to shake. We hear loud thumping. The doors creaking open. I start to feel the sudden fear. My parents and I blacked out. That was it. What happened? I thought for sure that something happened. The plane flew. As we landed, we started walking into the car. We entered. He said to wait. As I said, what happened? As we got home, we saw the TV. We looked at the time ticking near. We look at our grandfather's clock. The bell starts to boom, boom. It strikes midnight. As it's about to strike midnight, I looked at the clock. It's ticking as to 12. Boom. Everything starts to shake. Boom. Boom. We got scared and we were like, that was it. Here's the monster. Everything starts to shake and fall and break. The TV bouncing back and forth in the window. All the leaves fall in. As everything's shaking, we look at the time. You see the window creaking back and forth. My fear starts to rise. And I start hallucinating. My stomach starts to feel sick, and he told me to look, and we saw the bird.
A father and son were looking at each other and looking at the view. It was beautiful. The sun was setting and you could see the lake. They looked at each other and the dad said, "What if we go over there? There's a secret small boat and it's on the water." The son said, "Yeah, but the sun is setting and it's getting dark." The dad said, "It's fine, let's go." They started packing and they got everything. So they walked over to the boat on the dock. It was a small, cute boat with paddles, and there was a space for the fishing rod. So the son hopped in, and then behind him, the dad, walking and walking, rocking back and forth, set the boat going up. The dad was starting the engine, pulling it and pulling it, gas coming out, smoke spreading the air. It was swirling around on the boat, and then the boat began to set off and go into the water. It was going left and right. Outside of the boat, there was people taking off. There was a guy with buttons on his shirt and a hat and a beard. They were talking, but they were going the other way. The boat was still rocking back and forth, and smoke was filling the air as water began moving and moving. Over there, the father saw a dark place and turned the boat to the right. Smoke still filling the air. They stopped the boat, and the boat went towards the water. The father said, "You see that? You see that? It's the place." So they were looking around, and they saw the water, but there was nothing. They said, "It's fine." So they got prepared, getting their fishing hook, getting the bait, putting it on the rod. The father and the son went different directions, and they started to fish. The father set out his fishing line, and something got caught on the hook. And then he pulled out a fish, put it in the boat, and then set it again. Again and again. There was nothing, no fish. And then something got caught, another fish. It was pretty big. Then the father set the fishing rod again, the line going into water, splashing everything. So he was pulling it, and then something got stuck. He was pulling it. There was something on the line. And then it was gone. The line was gone. It disappeared. It went into the water. The father was confused, and then a big bass popped out of the water. The hook still in its mouth. Spit it out towards the father and went into the boat. He dived right back into the water. The father and the son looked at each other. They were at a loss of words. They were confused. What just happened? And then the dad gathered all their kids. They grabbed all the kids and put them all into one horse carriage, and the mom and the dad moved to the front. The mom holds the baby while the dad drives the carriage. As they're riding, they move past houses and get closer and closer to their destination. Once they arrive, they tie up the horses and all the kids get out. They're all excited and crazy. The dad asks the mom for some money to go buy a drink. Mom gives him some money and says you can have one drink, no more. The dad said, that's fine, you guys go have fun, I'm gonna go. He walks over until he gets to the bar and he sees his friend. He says hi, grabs a drink, and they talk. Meanwhile, the mom is with the kids, and they decide to go to the store. They buy a bunch of greens. They struggle to carry them all. They move them to the carriage and throw all the things inside. The kids ask for candy, and the mom gives them money to go buy a lollipop. They all buy their lollipops, and then the mom says it's time to go. So they all go back inside the horse carriage. Then the mom realizes the dad isn't here. So he tells the kid to go get his dad. So they're walking around. They get to the bar and they see the dad. The dad's completely drunk. So the friend helps carry him, puts his arm over his shoulder, and they walk towards the carriage. Once they get to the carriage, the mom says to put the dad in the back, and he lays down in the back. Mom gives the baby to another kid and drives the carriage herself. The kids are sleeping while the mom's still driving. And the moon is setting and it starts to get dark. The mom decides she's tired and puts down the reins and sleeps with the baby in her arms. The horses know what to do, so they continue riding towards the house. Once they get to the house, they stop. The mom wakes up, gets all the kids, and they all run into the house. The dad, they leave him all night in the carriage. Nowadays, people drive cars. But when they start to get sleepy, there's no button that drives automatically. You have to stay awake or you cause car crashes. But horses, you don't.